90-Day Fiance. I'm convinced Jasmine Pineda and Matt Branis will break up someday. She's already friend-zoned him. Jasmine Pineda and Matt Branis from 90 Day, The Last Resort are not a couple that will stay together, according to me, and here's my list of reasons why. I've watched Jasmine on TV since her Before the 90 Days Season 5 debut with Gino Palazzolo and have followed her on social media. Thanks to her entertaining personality and one-liners, she is one of my favorite 90 Day Fiancé cast members. However, I'm not quite able to understand what's caused Jasmine to make one bad decision after another since coming to America. Jasmine and Gino's relationship was rumored to be transactional, but I did feel like their attraction towards each other was genuine. Gino even stayed in the open marriage because he didn't want to let go of Jasmine. However, Jasmine suddenly seemed unappreciative of everything Gino did for her. I'm still confused about why she threw it all away for a man she met at her gym and even became pregnant with Matt's baby. This is not the calculated and reasonable Jasmine that I've watched for the last 5 years, and I'm sure Jasmine will dump Matt soon. Jasmine may have started an affair with Matt to make Gino jealous. It's nothing new for Jasmine to make Gino feel insecure about himself by comparing him to the other men. She has done it using her ex-husband and even her ex-boyfriend Dane. Jasmine had made Gino get her an apartment in the same building as Dane. She used Dane's name and threatened she'd go back to him after a fight where Gino listed his family as his #1 priority and not her. If I remember correctly, Jasmine even told Gino that Dane was better than him in bed and claimed she had slept with Dane to cheat on Gino. Jasmine had called Gino's family trash and claimed there was a video of her being intimate with Dane from just a month ago. Jasmine liked that the usually calm Gino was shaken by her confession when he shockingly called her a WH*****. It gave Jasmine leverage over him and made Gino look like a villain. I knew this was not going to be the first time that Jasmine would use another man to make Gino feel bad about himself. When Matt became her friend, Jasmine may have started spending time with him to make Gino jealous. Matt is a rebound for Jasmine after failed marriage with Gino. Rebound relationships often fail because they're initiated to distract from the pain of a recent breakup, lack genuine emotional connection and compatibility, and are often short-lived. Jasmine did get over Gino easily, but she had been with him for 3 years, and I'm sure she had developed feelings for him, too. Jasmine may have wanted to make her marriage work but saw Matt as an option to distract herself from it. The relationship is still in its honeymoon phase, and once Matt also disappoints her in some way, Jasmine might want a way out of it. Matt has faced abuse allegations. In January 2025, Kiki Antkabits shared a screenshot from a deleted Reddit post that had made some shocking allegations against Jasmine's boyfriend. The person claimed that Jasmine was 8 months pregnant with Matt's baby and was in denial that Matt allegedly hurt her. The person also claimed that Matt allegedly had a criminal record against him with his ex-girlfriends in Michigan. As per the person, Jasmine was making it look like she was very happy with Matt, but in reality, there were a lot of things happening. The person also accused Matt of stalking Jasmine from day one at the gym. While I have read that Matt is an aspiring actor, it seems believable that Matt approached Jasmine as a starstruck fanboy, but Jasmine has denied all the other allegations. She shared an Instagram story where she wrote, "Once again, I'm not clarifying any rumors. If you're really concerned about my well-being, go ahead and book my cameos and subscribe to my OnlyFans, and ask them to support her." Jasmine took to the comments section of 90-Day Fiancé _Alexa where she shared a comment denying the allegations and said she was in a happy place. Jasmine refers to Matt as her friend. One thing that strikes me as odd about Jasmine and Matt's relationship is that even though she's having his baby and got into an open relationship with him over a year ago, she's still calling him her friend on social media. It shows that she's not able to commit to him yet. Jasmine has now been in 2 failed marriages and wants to avoid giving her relationship with Matt any labels so she can move on from him easily if things go south, and she doesn't get feelings involved, as she'd promised Gino on The Last Resort. Jasmine and Matt aren't living together in Florida. Apart from watching Jasmine call Matt her unconditional friend or her bestie on Instagram, I've also seen her suggesting that they don't live together. Jasmine and Matt are rumored to have moved to Florida together, but something tells me that could just be a rumor. Jasmine has suggested several times that Matt does not live with her. For instance, _link_2749 shared a screenshot of a story posted by Jasmine where she showed Matt standing in front of a washing machine and writing, "Baby daddy came by to wash the baby's clothes." Jasmine lied to Gino about Matt's sexual orientation. Gino took a while to accept Jasmine's request for an open marriage on 90 Day, the last resort. However, when he finally did it, he told Josh Weinstein the real reason. I watched the episode of Between the Sheets where Gino told Josh that Jasmine had lied to him about who Matt was. Jasmine had told Gino that Matt was her gay friend. It was why Gino didn't mind Jasmine spending time with him. It made me wonder why someone would spread such rumors about a person they're in love with. Why I believe 90 Day, The Last Resort's Rob and Sophie are just as bad as each other. Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra's 90 Day, The Last Resort segment is near its end and I have no idea whose side I'm on at this point. Sophie and Rob first appeared in 90 Day Fiance Season 10, where their red flags were evident right away. Sophie thought Rob could have done more to prep for her arrival. Rob thought Sophie was needy and asking for too much. He also didn't get along well with her mother, which added even more turmoil to the relationship when she came to visit their tiny apartment before they got married. Their relationship continued to falter in their 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After segment, resulting in Sophie moving into a friend's apartment. Now they've been separated longer than their marriage, and almost as long as their entire relationship. They were going to part ways for good after the Happily Ever After tell all but decided to jump at the opportunity of joining The Last Resort. However, as I've watched them go back and forth this season, I'm starting to realize that they're either perfect or imperfectly made for each other, since they seem to share a lot more traits than they realize, both good and bad. The Last Resort's Sophie and Rob lack accountability. The biggest issues that all the couples have in The Last Resort Season 2, but most specifically Sophie and Rob, is their lack of accountability. Both of them struggle to be accountable for their actions or truly apologize. It took Rob over 2 years to give Sophie a heartfelt apology, only for it to be ruined in less than 24 hours once she discovered he was still chatting with other women. Meanwhile, I don't think I've heard a heartfelt apology from Sophie at all in this process. Every time her actions are brought up, she dismisses them by arguing that Rob pushed her or made her feel like she had no choice. Now there's no denying that their relationship has turned into a vicious cycle of one trying to up the other. The partners are trying to prove who has more hurt and pain, who did the other more wrong. But this type of communication will only continue to hinder their journey. If they truly care for each other and the relationship, they have to learn to be accountable, even if they feel like they were justified in their actions. Sophie can be justified in moving out. However, her actions have consequences, such as hurting Rob's feelings and driving a bigger wedge between the two. Sophie most definitely should prioritize herself, health, and peace, but needs to realize that she still has to be accountable for those actions. Both 90 Day Fiancé franchise stars can be manipulative and vindictive. Another quality that makes it difficult for me to choose sides is the manipulative side they both have. Throughout their appearances together, Rob has shown how manipulative he can be. Whether his actions are intentional is not the point. When Sophie's mom came to visit, Rob threw a hissy fit that ruined the entire experience. When Sophie discovered the full extent of his cheating, Rob tried every technique in the book to downplay his actions and get his wife to forgive him. Rob often seemed to care more about his well-being and happiness, instead of their happiness as a couple. Now I feel like Sophie is acting similarly. Again, this could be part of the vicious trauma cycle where they keep replaying the same storyline. However, I still stand firm behind my accountability beliefs. I understand Sophie might be reacting to Rob's actions, but sometimes her antics seem manipulative as well. I can understand her desire to talk her problems out with the other stars and look for support, especially from other women. However, standing up first thing in the morning at the campsite to tell everyone about the cheating seemed a little vindictive. Overall, I can certainly understand Sophie's point of view. For years, Rob has been lying, gaslighting, and manipulating most situations to make Sophie look like the bad person. After tolerating that behavior for years, I could empathize with Sophie's need to stand up for herself. However, this is one of those situations where I think no reaction is the best reaction, similar to how I feel about Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda. Rob might be totally in the wrong, but since he struggles with accountability, he's not thinking about his actions from that point of view. Instead, he flips the script, which triggers Sophie. In the end, I think Sophie needs to focus on herself and learn healthier coping tools. This way, she'll feel more confident during conversations with her husband, and he won't have as many opportunities to point out her flaws. 90 Day Fiance and its spin-off series air on TLC, and are available to stream on Max in the US.